Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday, y'all. Happy Amplify Your Brilliance Mondays, a time that I give you the tools to activate your faith alongside your purpose as you start or grow your business. Now, tonight's episode is really important. I'm going to talk to you about really how iron sharpens iron is even more relevant today, now, in our current climate. But even in addition to that, I'm also here joining you as a pre event to the Slay Summit. If you haven't heard about the Slay Summit, let me tell you about it, and it's going to be so relevant to our conversation today. So, I've assembled 11 powerhouse women to pour into you all week. And it starts tonight, 8 p.m. EST. Those of you that are here with me live, it starts in an hour. So, grab your seat if you haven't already. Go to slaysummit.com. And as you're coming in, come on in and tell me hello. Tell me where you're joining from. Hey, Yolanda. Hey, hey. Again, whether you're here live or watching the replay. So, listen, our conversation is really in alignment with what you're going to learn tonight in the Slay Summit. So I'll tell you more about that and the context of our conversation. So you probably have heard this Bible verse as I have ad nauseum. Hey, Nona, tell everybody where you're from, where you're joining us from. So we've all heard this Bible verse ad nauseum. You're going to see me. I got notes all over the place. So bear with me tonight because I want to make sure I don't miss a thing, right? So Proverbs 27:17 is, as iron sharpens iron. So a woman, this says man, but I'm going to say woman. So a woman sharpens the countenance of her friends, right? So listen, we've heard this Bible verse, at least I know I have in Sunday school since I was little. I went to Catholic school, so it was one of the Bible verses we had to memorize. Iron sharpens iron. Here's the thing I think is interesting. So think about what that means, right? When I initially think of iron sharpens iron, it makes me think of how many of you guys have this on the back of your can opener where you can sharpen your knife. See, if a knife is not sharp, it's not going to do the thing that it was purposed to do. The same way, if you're not sharp, you won't be able to do the thing you were purposed to do. And we've been talking dominion and multiply and fruitful. So this is another level of it because it really does take a village to grow your business. That is why iron sharpens iron is even more relevant now because in the COVID streets, we've been mentally drained and physically drained and financially drained, and we've gone through so much. And listen, a lot of who you have around, it is you have around you also speaks to, are they adding to that? Are they taking away from that? So we need our iron sharp now more than ever. Now, listen, even when we look at this Bible verse and it says, so a woman sharpens the countenance of her friend. So I looked up the definition of the word countenance, which means mental composure, moral support. See, the people are supporting you in your dream, in your purpose, in your goals in life, or they're keeping you from them. So tonight I'm here to give you or to invite you to do an atmosphere check. There's a quote that says, you are the sum of the five people you have around you. So who's around you? Are they pouring into you or are they taking away from you? So I call this, and actually I wrote this in my first book, I call this who's on your team. So the thing that I know is that if we're going to win in this game of life, if we're going to become the women that God has created us to be, we've got to do some things, right? Again, this is why I invited the ladies to join me in the Slay Summit. The thing I love about the conversations, they start tonight, 8 p.m. EST. By the way, if you can't watch them live and maybe you're watching me on the replay, all the replays will be available to you until Sunday at 3 p.m. EST. The reason I commit to do this is my 6th year doing the Slay Summit, is you hear each of these women, all of them powerful CEOs, entrepreneurs in their own right, women of color, right? And I love these conversations because they share all the things they've been through, fear and divorce and judgment and all the things that they've gone through to say yes to their gift. And I created this as a village of support for you. Why? Because when I started in this entrepreneurial journey, listen, being an entrepreneur is lonely. Yolanda, we talked about this morning on Clubhouse, right? Being an entrepreneur is lonely. You won't make it without support of wonderful team that's around you. So I'm going to walk you through the 6 players that must be on your team. And those of you that are here with me every Monday, you know that I drop a journal entry. And so know that if you don't take these notes, these 6 people are on your journal. But I really want you to check your environment, check who's around you. We're going to go deeper into this next week because there's a step 1. But before I do step 1, we're going to walk through step 2, which is I want you to assess who is on your team. So here are the players that you should have assembled on your team. You ready? Player number 1 is a coach. Because what team is playing without a coach? You know, a coach that pulls you over the side to write out the plays with you, to strategize. When something's not working, you know that coach is blowing the whistle, doing the timeout. Come on back over here. Let's strategize. That ain't working. We need to do something different. And so, in the same vein, when you're building something, whether a business, whether it's your health, or it's your wealth, your spirituality, you need a coach. Especially if you're playing bigger than you've ever played before. You can't listen. One of my favorite quotes by Bishop A.R. Bernard is the tools you've used on this level are not sufficient for your next. You need new tools. You need a coach. See, a coach is usually 10 steps ahead of you and has been where you are and can tell you, girl, don't do that. I did that. And let me tell you, at least that's the kind of coach I am. I'm going to tell you, ooh, girl, don't do that. Let me tell you why. Right? So let me tell you the difference between a coach and a mentor, because you'd be surprised how many emails I get about me being someone's mentor, and you don't want a mentor, you want a coach. See, a mentor is someone that's going to fit you in when they can. You might meet once every 3 to 6 months for 15 to 20 minutes. You can't get strategy in 15 minutes. And usually, again, a mentor is someone you already have a relationship with, because they've got to know you. If they can only give you 15-minute window, they got to be able to, they don't have time for background and ask you, tell me about your business. They don't have time for that. Whereas a coach does. See, a coach is a contractual relationship. That means we're going to meet once every other week or once a month or whatever that you create for an hour. And we're going to get to this predictable result that we both agree upon. See, after I've coached you, then totally I can mentor you and ask you answer a 15-minute question. But I can't do that if I haven't spent time getting to know your business and intimately, just like that coach on the side of that game knows his players. He's spending time with them. He knows their gift. He knows that so and so can make this jump shot. He knows such and such can do a three-pointer. So he's gonna not listen. If I can't shoot a three-pointer, he's not gonna tell me go for the 3 point. He's gonna tell me go for the jump shot, Nicole. He's gonna say, Yolanda, you go for the 3 pointer because he knows Yolanda can do the 3 pointer, right? So your coach, literally, every great team needs a coach. That's number one. The second group you need is accountability partners. And I wrote it down because yeah, I know I can talk and talk, but my goal is to always be here 30 minutes or less. So every great team needs someone holding you accountable, someone that you can run things past, someone that you can tease things out with. You can't do that if the person's not an entrepreneur. If they're not, they don't have to have the same kind of business you have, but you need to have someone that's in the entrepreneurial journey. Because if you're talking to someone that's not been an entrepreneur, how do they understand what you're going through? Third person you need is counselors. You need someone that will just listen. Someone, sometimes you just need to vent. Sometimes you just need to get something off your chest. You need someone to just listen. That's a counselor. That's a person that has that ear to listen. And by the way, some of these 6 players I'm giving you, some people may have 2 roles in your life, and that's okay, right? The fourth is confronter. You need someone that's going to tell you the truth, not tell you what you want to hear. By the way, this is why Michael Jackson didn't make it. He had all these yes men around him. I don't want yes men around me, yes women around me. I want people that are going to say, no, girl, that's whack. Or, Nicole, sit down, you're doing too much. I want people to tell me the truth. By the way, my accountability partner is of my accountability and my confronter, because she would tell me the truth and tell me, sit your corny butt down. That's so corny. And that's 9 times out of 10 with me. I am very corny. Anyway, number 5, cheerleader. Now, the next 2 don't have to be entrepreneurs. Your cheerleader doesn't have to be an entrepreneur. That's someone that just gets so excited for you that, yay, yeah, I love it. I love it. You need that because it keeps you renewed. It keeps you strong. It keeps you in the journey. Just to hear that somebody believes in you. Sometimes it's all you need on a hard day. And then last but not least is a sister friend. Now, your cheerleader may be your sister friend, right? Notice that, yes, ma'am, tell me the truth and not what you think I want to hear, right? Because ultimately hearing what you want to hear isn't helping anybody but you. And you're not on this earth serving you, right? So your sister friends. Now I call this my happy hour girls, because look, Nicole loves a good, well, I used to say cocktail, but now a glass of wine because I had to shift how I eat in my 50s, drink in my 50s. But here's the thing. You need a group of girlfriends. I'm about to choke trying to be funny. And this is water, by the way. It's not a cocktail. So you need a good group of girlfriends. And sometimes this is my husband. Where I can just lay my hair down and laugh and just have a good time. I don't want to talk about work. I don't want to think about anything. I just want to laugh and have fun. Right. And then the bonus person on your team is your mate. And I say bonus because every team doesn't have one and it's not a requirement. But I need you to understand your mate has his own purpose. So stop trying to make him sign up for yours. Now he should support your purpose, But some people, yes, your purpose is tied with your mate, and you may have a business together. That's great. But that's not everybody's relationship. It's so funny when people say, "Is Daryl coming?" No, Daryl has his own stuff he got to do. He not coming, right? Not because I don't want him there, but I'm clear this is my purpose. But it is his purpose to support mine. And I'm saying that because I remember this was years ago. I was getting ready to speak. And because my husband knows when I'm getting ready to speak, I am in Jesus mode. I'm fully trying to stay centered because God will shift everything I'm getting ready to say. He sometimes just does it when I'm walking out on stage. But if I'm not centered, I don't hear it. So I'm meditating and getting centered, and my phone rings, and it's him. So I'm thinking it must be an emergency because why else would he be calling me right now? So I answer the phone, and he's like, "Hey, baby." I'm like, You don't want nothing? Okay, well, I can't talk to you right now." And I hang up. Now, yeah, that sounds mean, but I was trying to focus. I didn't have time to try to explain to him. He knew where I was, he has my schedule. And so as soon as I did feel bad a little bit, but I was like, let it go. You'll call him later. Focus, focus, so I can speak. He sends me a text and he said, "Baby, I apologize to you. I realize it's your job to pour into all the people you're going to go pour into while you're on stage, and it's my job to pour into you." So y'all know I talked about that when I got on stage. But that's what I mean by support. His job is not to be there holding my purse or sitting there with me while I'm going on stage. That's not who he is. Now I'm not saying he'll never be that because roles shift. And I'm not saying he's never done that because he has, but that's not his role. That's not his 24/7. He's done it once to see what I do. And so stop trying to make people be in roles that they're not. So here's what I want to encourage you to do this week. I need you to take a team check. When team members are, when a basketball, football, baseball team, when you had a team and the player is not playing the role that he is specified for, he gets traded. And here's what I know about God. When you release people that are no longer serving you, now, when I say release, that's not a call, hey, girl, I'm releasing you. Don't start no mess and say Nicole told you because I didn't say to do that. You release them lovingly and you don't call and say, I'm releasing you. You just slowly back up from that relationship. But as you do, God always replaces, He always trades in for a better player, right? And it's not that the person may be better, it may be that that person's role is done. There's a Bible verse in Ecclesiastes, and then one of y'all know it, quoted in here. It talks about there's a time and a season for everything. And there are some people that were on your team that could have had a phenomenal role on your team that no longer are a good fit. And so here's the thing. Another reason I assembled the Slay Summit is because some of you don't even realize that you got people on your team that should have been traded a long time ago. Their contract has been over. And as you listen to these women share their journey and their stories, you'll hear some of that. And I hope and pray that it gives you permission, that the women that shared this week during the Slay Summit give you permission to say yes to the team that support you, to say yes to all you need to go after the highest and best version of who God created you to be, and to say yes to let go of anything that's not. In Jim Collins' book From Good to Great, he talks about having the right people on the bus, but you also got to have the right people on the right seats on the bus, or maybe they need to be on a different bus, right? So it's my encouragement to you as you get your homework, your journal work for this week, is to sit and look at who is playing on your team, right? Yolanda says, people come into your life for a moment, a season, or a lifetime. Pray for the wisdom to know the difference. Come on, girl. That's real. That is so real. I think I've heard that somewhere before, but that's so good. And you really do. And here's the other thing that gets really, really hard. When someone's been in your life, maybe since you were 5, maybe since you were in high school, maybe since you were in college, whatever that might be, and their season is up, sometimes it's hard to release them. And here's what I often say, doesn't mean that they can't be in the audience. They may no longer be on your team or sitting on your bench, but they could be watching it from the stands. So I have friends that are not on my team like they were back in the day, but I still talk to them. I've known people since I was 5 years old, and I'll see them every now and then, and we'll have a good chat at least once a year. Don't release them fully and completely unless they're making negative deposits. That's a different story. But here's what I've seen happen in my life. Is someone that isn't on my team right now, sometimes they'll circle back and life has shifted and they've grown, and all of a sudden they're right prime on my team on the floor taking all the shots. So don't discount where someone else is in their journey. Again, unless they're taking away from you, unless they're taking so many withdrawals. Because listen, if you go to the bank and you withdraw 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 and you never make a deposit, the bank keeps your card, right? Yolanda says sometimes they become surface level. Like Steve Harvey said, everybody can't go. Right. Everybody, look, everybody can't even fit on the bus. So stop trying to take everybody with you. And as Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. That's in relationship, that's in team. Because listen, your dream can only go as far as your team. And when you start out as an entrepreneur, yes, you need more team, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the first, well, next week, and I'll talk more about team thereafter. But I need you to get this. I need you to understand that there are women in the journey that have gone before you. They'll show you the way. Those women are on the Slay Summit. If you haven't got your seat, this is my last reminder, slaysummit.com. But ultimately, I want you to really understand that the reason why it's so relevant now is because, and many of you guys have heard me talk about this. Listen, I believe COVID was God being intentional. Now, I'm not talking about the people that have passed and have died and got really, really sick. I'm talking about the rest of us. See, God gave us a pause. My question is, have you been intentional in your pause? Have you used it to expand your territory, to push your gift forward, to release yourself into a new level of yourself? If not, I'm giving you permission. First thing you do is level, set, check. Those are around you so that you make sure you have the fertilizer you need to grow that seed in the garden of possibility. Come on, Nicole, make stuff up as you talk, right? Anytime I get excited, it just means that God is dropping it in as I'm talking. So, with that said, y'all, that is it for this Amplify Your Brains Monday. Again, 8 p.m. EST, our first interview goes live, which is me for Aunt Slay Something. But then you have two other women tonight. So, there's three of us first night because I give you a great welcome overview and I break down even more. I don't even talk about all the stuff I talked about tonight. So, you're in for a treat. So, again, go to slaysummit.com, right? All right. All right, Titus 2 moment, Yolanda. All right. So again, if you can't make it at 8 p.m., you can go and listen to the replays. The replays will be available. So every night at 8 p.m., Monday through Friday of this week, two more interviews released. I think Thursday there are three, right? So go listen all night every day. And then tomorrow morning, I will recap with you on Clubhouse. I'm excited. You'll get all of that. Once you register, you'll get all of that via email. Okay. So again, slaysummit.com is where you go. I look forward to pouring into you. I look forward to hearing your takeaways from women that are pouring in all week as they're telling you their transparent parent conversation. Again, these are conversations you don't hear at church on Sunday, at happy hour on Friday. These are just conversations that are going to bless your life because these are behind the curtain conversations of what it took for them to say yes to their next level. So with that said, that's Amplify Your Brains Monday. I'm here every Monday, 7 p.m. EST, again, to give you tools to activate your faith alongside your purpose. If you're going to start and grow your business and become the highest and best version of who God created you to be, it's not as simple as just starting. You've got to be clear and uncompromising with who God created you to be. And so I'm here to give you tools to make sure you do that. All right. So with that, have a phenomenal rest of your Monday. And listen, hey, Donna. So listen, do me a favor. Come here and tell us your takeaways. Now, those of you that are in the Women of Brilliance tribe watching this, because I'm live in LinkedIn and Facebook and in my Women of Brilliance tribe Facebook group, and I'm always excited to talk to my Women of Brilliance tribe ladies. Do me a favor. Every night, come into the Women of Brilliance tribe and tell me your takeaway from the interview. I want to hear. I want to hear all the nuggets that they're dropping on you. I want to hear what's landing on your heart. You know why? Because all of us have different life experiences. So that means that each of us will get something different from the same conversation. So make sure you share it. Share it in the Facebook group because I want to see, and I'm going to share mine with you as well. All right. So with that, have a phenomenal rest of your Monday. I'll see you soon. Well, you'll hear me tonight, and I'll see you next Monday for another episode of Amplify Your Brains Monday. Uh, I guess that's bye for now, y'all.